This is John Decker, the Director of Community Services at Alta California Regional Center. Today is May 10th, 2024, and this is Coffee with Community Services, Alta California Regional Center's weekly service provider meeting. Good morning to everyone. See quite a few folks on already. We've got 62 participants. We are going to introduce our staff and we are going to get into our agenda. So first, I'll do the agenda. We're going to talk about our sign of the week with Melinda. We're going to have an update on the DSP stipend from Michelle Duchesne. We have a service provider spotlight with Progressive Employment Concepts. We have our update from Scott on our HCBS progress. And we have some upcoming activities on our ACRC calendar. We, I believe, are going to have a discussion about the upcoming rally that is going to be occurring at the Capitol in May. And we are going to discuss a little bit about our PAC meeting that we had yesterday. And finally, as I furiously refresh my emails and refresh the state budget website,
This popped up.
we will give an update on the California budget as well. We will give an update on the May revision. It's a race right now to see whether or not the Association of Regional Center Agencies or Marty Emoto is the first one to send out the email. So we'll see who sends it out first. So we'll get started real quickly with introductions here. We didn't do them last week. It was so weird. So I see on my screen here our Associate Client Services Director, Faye Tate. Good morning, Faye. And from Community Services, I see Adriana and Jessica on this morning. Good morning. And Client Services Manager Dana is on. Good morning. Melinda and Scott and Tom are on from Community Services as well. Their manager, Michelle, is here. She'll be with us for the first part of this meeting. We have also from Community Services, let's see, we've got Christine is on. I see Beverly, our QA manager, Scott is on. My assistant, Zach, is here. I see HCBS specialist, Marty, is on. Good morning, Marty. Our lead Community Services specialist, Jason, is here. Our manager, Helen from Community Services, Shauna as well from Community Services, and Christy too. Good morning, Christy Schaefer. I see Ethan on this morning and Kylie too. Good morning from Community Services. Our housing specialist, Rhonda, is on. Good morning, Michael too. Hello. And let's see. And we have Client Services Manager, Max Robertson, on as well. I will not get tired of saying that. And let's see, we also have... who else do we have on here? We've got Jennifer Bloom on, our Client Services Director, and Carol, one of our another additional Client Services Managers. And from our Community Services Department, we have Belinda and we have Rihanna as well. And I see Jaslyn and Courtney on, and Dee Dee. Good morning. And I see our Clinical and Intake Director, Camelia, is on. And we have our new addition soon to the Community Services Department, Hubert Enriquez, our emergency coordinator as well, will be joining Jordan's unit. And so good morning to him too. And I see Kate is on. Look like she's going to be ready to do her progressive employment update here shortly. Very good. You're going to be on shortly on the agenda, Kate. And then, hey, Denise, I see Denise from Community Services and Isabella too. And Robin LeMay is on, just anxiously awaiting to see what the May revision has in store for our workload in the next few months, if possible. And our Director of Client Services, our other Director of Client Services, Michelle Johnson, is on too. And our Specialized Services and Supports Manager, Jordan. We have our lead specialist, Heather, here. And I think there's an announcement we can make related to that, Jordan, or no?
Absolutely.
Why don't I allow you?
Okay. So everyone, we are very pleased to announce that Heather Hollingworth has been selected to be promoted to the next residential manager. She will be under Johnny Zhang. Heather has been just a stellar team member in SSSU, and we are so excited for her to become a manager here and share all of her skill sets with her staff and work with that group. So we're super excited for her. We will miss her, of course, but she'll still be here.
Heather, any comment on that?
I'm excited and nervous, of course, but yeah.
Like many of the folks in Community Services, Heather came to us from the service provider community when many of us first had an opportunity to be able to work with her. And it has been amazing to see her grow from being one of our service providers and working in that role to be able to move into a position as a community services specialist, working in the CPP world, and then moving into a lead position and finishing her master's degree and becoming our acute care coordinator and really helping getting people out of those challenging prolonged prolonged hospital stays. And so just very pleased to see this promotion here for Heather, and look forward to you starting very soon, right?
Yeah, the 20th.
Oh, awesome.
Thank you, John.
Very cool. All right, I'm going to throw it over to Melinda now, and I believe, Julie, I will be spotlighting you.
Okay. All right. Today we are discussing the sign of the week. And for the sign of the week, today we are going to be discussing behavioral health. And we will be reviewing how to sign that word. And then we will also be discussing a few more signs with the concept of behavior health. This is not a lecture on behavior health. This is not information about behavior health. None of that. It's just the signs that are important to know as vendors and community members and service coordinators in case you come across this in the community. In ASL, the sign behavioral health is comprised of two signs together, behavioral and health. Behavior is signed with an initialized B hand shape. Palms are down, and they move from side to side a couple of times. So I like to think doing the hula once. Health is made with a number 5 hand shape towards your shoulders, and you will then take both hands simultaneously and pull them out away from the shoulders into an S hand shape or a closed fist. This sign also means bold, bravery, courage, cure, and healthy. So let's sign that all together. Behavior and health. Behavior, health. And remember, in sign language, you do not voice, you do not talk at the same time unless you use what I use, which is called total communication, and then you do both at the same time. A special note, in American Sign Language, there are no suffixes at all. That means no AL, no ING, no ED, ES, LY, RY, THY, ITY, TY, MENT, SHIP, SHIP, IFY, FY, able, ABLE. The word able does exist, but not the ending. IBLE, IBLE, ESQUE or ESQUE, and ACY. That does not exist. So that's where signing can become hard for some of us because we're saying, well, how do I define the word behavioral? We look at the root word behavior, and that's how you get behavior, and then health. Health. So if we sign it all together one more time, behavior, health. People experience a range of emotions every day. In ASL, we use physical manifestations to convey emotion. For example, anxiety, rage, and happy. To sign the word anxiety, we have two options. Option 1 is you can make an open 5 hand and you place them towards yourself, palms towards you, and you can shake them. You're anxious. And you're also going to make the nonverbal face that you're anxious, you're not feeling good. Option 2 is an older sign where you're sitting and you're showing someone who's anxious. So you're going to take your non-dominant hand in the H form, put it down. You're going to take your dominant hand and you're going to make the sign sit. Then you are going to be rocking the sitting person. This is an older sign for anxious, but both are still accepted. The word rage is you're going to make your number 5 towards yourself, and you're going to make claws. I call them bear claws. And you're going to come up, and you're going to make the nonverbal sign in your face. Angry, rage. And then happy is going to be the number 5, but it's calm, 5 hands towards yourself. You can touch your chest, and you're going to go up a couple times. Happy. So those are your signs of the week in deaf culture. It's important to know that a lot of our members in the community who are deaf or hard of hearing or sign language users will use a lot of nonverbals. And so they may not be signing anxious. If you ask them how they feel, they may not say anxious, but they'll show you anxious. You might see them sitting in their chair, just like that sign where they're rocking back and forth. You also might see rage where they're upset. And they also might tell you. So it's good for us to make sure we pay attention to the nonverbals and use that to supporting our clients and our community members. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. I'm going to throw it now over to Michelle Duchesne to give just a brief update about our DSP collaborative, excuse me, our DSP stipend.
Thank you. Can you hear me okay, John?
Perfectly, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So we actually do not have numbers to share today. We haven't received those as of this week, as of this morning. But I do have some numbers for you. So 52 days, that's what we have left for the DSP stipend. That is 8 Sundays. So those are the numbers I could pull together for you guys. So we did send out a final MailChimp to all providers, kind of just sharing, and hopefully we can get some new providers and some new staff to the training. We did have some information from a provider during our pack yesterday that they had sent over and sent through, I think 33 of their staff to do that. So we still have new trainings coming through. So hopefully we'll have some more numbers for you guys next week.
Excellent. Any questions about the DSP stipend? All right. So with that, let's see. I am now going to throw it over to Progressive Employment Concepts for them to share their vendor spotlight.
Hello, everyone. I really just mainly wanted to announce and let everyone know that we are going to be holding an ACRE training in basic customized employment in June. This course is a course that trains people how to go through the process of discovery and the development of customized employment with the folks we serve. It's a in-person training. It's 5 days and 40 hours. So 9 to 5, all of those 5 days. Specifically, the dates are June 17th, 18th, 27th, and 28th. And I will put a flyer in the chat if you guys wanted to have that. And I will also put a link for the registration, and which has more information about this training. As of this morning, we only had 28 spots available left. So make sure if you're interested to register early. Yeah. Does anyone have any questions?
I don't know, last time we did this, people ended up filling in all the training slots before Coffee with Community Services was over. So I wonder if that's a possibility. Like you guys did it for Southside. Is it possible that for Progressive now we could do the same thing? So you put the information in the chat, right? It's already in there?
I will.
They're going to be? Okay, perfect. And then I know ACRE training, I guess maybe can you just describe a little bit about just kind of the benefits? Like if I'm a service provider and I'm interested in looking at doing something like this, like what are really the benefits? It came up a little bit at our provider advisory committee meeting yesterday, but maybe just expand on that just a little bit more if you wouldn't mind.
Sure. Yeah, so this is another way of helping people with employment services, right? So helping people go through what is called a discovery process, which is a evidence-based practice on how to really support people to find jobs that match their skills and interests. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right. So that is going to drop in the chat, and hopefully folks will take advantage of that opportunity that is being offered by Progressive Employment Concepts.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. And again, it's Jason, right? Jason, you are the person for future spotlights if we're going to be looking at doing that.
Yes.
And next week, we don't necessarily have a spotlight, but we have a special guest that we are inviting, which is Lisa from Behavior Agent. Some of you guys, does anyone use Behavior Agent? Just curious. I know Jay does. Any other service providers? I'm just curious. I don't know that a lot of you do use them. And I know Rhonda and I think first met with Lisa, I don't know, like about 9 months or so. And I've ran into her in multiple conferences and things. And so I think it'd just be a good opportunity for her to talk about Behavior Agent with you all a little bit. I think with having this platform of so many service providers that are logging in, if there are things that we are aware of out there that might make your jobs have the ability to be maybe a little bit more efficient, or maybe things that have worked for other providers. So next week we will have Lisa coming, and oh, cool. So Amanda mentioned that Summit uses them as well. So again, we'll look forward to having her probably talk about 5-10 minutes or so next week and share a little bit, but really want to focus on you all as service providers as well, just talking about yourselves and what you do and what your companies are, especially if you are a newer service provider, or if you for example, don't attend our provider advisory committee meetings, etc. This is a great opportunity. So I would assume we probably got Jason's email. We can drop in the chat there if you would like to be featured in doing this. And we're always, though, I mean, we run these meetings pretty informally, so we're always really interested in feedback from you as service providers about kind of new and innovative things that you're doing, or just informing people more about your services. All right. Oh, this is good timing because the rally documents just got sent to me. Is there any? Oh, so let me have Scott get ready. I made you a co-host, Scott, so that you can share information about HCBS. But in the interim, if anyone wants to talk about the rally, I want to kind of touch on that next. I don't know if Garrett's on here or any of the other folks too that are working on the planning part of it, but would like to create a space for that after we do Scott's agenda item.
All right, and so we'll bring it over to HCBS. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We got the last state report as of May 3rd. Oh, I'm not sharing yet. Hold on a second. This should do it. How's that? You have the dashboard now?
Looks good.
All right. And so this is the as of the data of as of May 3rd, which is last week, and this is the state overview. And we'll just scroll down here. We can see that currently the total number of HCBS settings reviewed has been 54%. ACRC last week was at 49%. Today, I'm happy to report that we've gone and visited 277 locations out of 518, which puts us solidly at 53%. So we are just 1 percentage point behind the state average, which we're pretty happy about. So that's where we're sitting for ACRC right now. We can go through quickly and see the other types of settings.
Yeah.
This is the entire group of ACRCs at the very top here. You can see that we've got 518 settings. Some of the other programs have less, some have more. We're sitting at 89% compliant for the reviewed sites, which again is a very good percentage. And then in terms of residential settings, ACRC is at 48%. The total statewide is 55%. And then the compliance status is a little lower for these guys, but also respectable. Is our ACRC residential settings, the compliance settings, ACRC is sitting at 85% right now. The statewide percentage is 74%. So we're sitting really well. Day service, this is the day service programs. We're at 50% here as of last week. The state was at 51%. So we're tracking well and on point for completing all of our reviews by the end of August. That's all I got.
All right, thank you very much, Scott. That is excellent. Again, as you can see from Scott sharing his screen here, that the department is staying on very close watch for the regional centers to make sure that we are meeting our goals. This is the first time where they've created a beautiful PowerPoint presentation to send to us to let us know exactly how we're doing. But with that, I am very pleased to see the progress that Marty and Kylie, and expanded our group. We're getting bigger and bigger, that are doing this. And with that, we've also made investments in our regional center. We have these HCBS specialist positions that we've created that are working on these activities, and we're looking forward to what the future will bring. We don't know exactly what HCBS ongoing monitoring activities are going to look like. Some of those things have not been defined, but it is great knowing that we've got so many people that are, really well trained about what the expectations are for the final rule. And I know I was talking to Hubert recently because he's now joining us here in community services as well. And it is a great opportunity for Hubert too, to go out with the HCBS specialists and go do visits to like these different sites, because you really do get a feel for a lot of different settings and a lot of different ways in which our services are delivered. And so again, it's going to be and for Kylie, who's newer to our regional center, it is like a crash course in learning about every single different type of setting. Marty and others have been referring to some of these providers for years as service coordinators at our regional center. So anyways, I'm very proud of the work that is going on and just the quality of what we're seeing here. So thank you for that. Scott, anything else?
Yep, I got one more thing. So I forgot to mention the employment programs, which is actually the shining star here. So we've now gone and seen 77% of our employment programs, and I'm happy to report that 100% of them are currently compliant with HCBS. It's really
That is
impressive.
awesome. Wow.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. And with that, I believe that we're on the verge of getting new employment numbers from DDS as well. I think we've shared with you folks that, the PIP and the CIE numbers have been excellent at our regional center because of all the work that you're doing. So also hearing that our same employment providers are acing it for their HCBS reviews is some awesome employment news for our regional center. I think many of you know that is, if it's not the highest priority of our executive director, it's right up there. So, all right, let's see. Can I have anyone maybe from the Capital Coalition that might be interested in talking? I'm going to share my screen if anyone's interested in talking about the upcoming May Day rally.
I guess I can. I don't know if anybody else is on. Yeah, so we are, the Capital Caucus is a group of providers. Most of us serve on the Provider Advisory Committee, and we have established a legislative group, and we call it the Capital Coalition. And we have arranged a rally, and our purpose is to urge the governor and the legislators to not delay the rate study. The rate implementation for the rate study. So the flyer that he's showing you, we have it in email, and there's a map that's attached. We are going to show up there. There's going to be a couple tents. We're going to have a water station. I'm going to, on my own, is going to have maybe possibly some extra signs for you all if you don't have time to make some. And then we're going to march over to the swing space, which is where the legislators meet. So, and we'll be doing that around, I want to say noon. I think that's right. I'm trying to look at the flyer sideways here.
Right,
Yeah,
10,
noon.
yeah,
We're
10:30
marching
to
to the swing
12.
space.
There,
So I hope you can come. We're trying to get lots of people there. So, so yeah, please, please
I saw,
send
yeah, I
the
know I
email
saw
out to
Eric
your
on.
staff.
Yeah, I know I saw Eric on as well, and Jay might have a comment too. So Eric, are you able to share any more details about an idea about busing folks?
Oh, well, we have worked with, there's On My Own and SNAP and Creative Living Options said that they were trying to get some folks from their agencies to come. So we're going to do, we're working on pulling 3 buses, not from routes. If you're running a program, we're not taking transportation from Alta, but right around 9:30, 10 o'clock, some of our vehicles go off service because everybody's gone to those programs. So we're looking at pulling 3 vehicles that get done earlier in the day to make a run to the Capitol, and then we take folks back. So we've got 3 stops just to try to get more people, 3 rallying points for those sites with a lot of bus there for those.
Excellent. Anyone else? I'm going to drop I think, into the chat right now the PDF of the flyer so people can see the map and everything else that is attached. And I know Lori and I will be out there from our executive team. This is certainly very important, a lot of these issues to regional centers, to ensure that we have the full implementation of the rate study. I know that the Association of Regional Center Agencies certainly has been very supportive as well. So we will look into that a little bit more too. All right. Now, let's see. What do we have for the May revision documents that have been posted so far on the website? Jump over there real quickly and take a look. All right, so I'm gonna copy and I'm gonna drop this in the chat real quick so folks know. So the state budget documents throughout the day today are going to be posted on this website. They did post the summary PDF about 10-15 minutes ago, and then a little bit later, and we'll start getting a bunch of emails about it. We will get a copy of the full detail that will give a little bit more information. And so just to share, I want to illustrate right now, everyone should be able to see my shared screen, but the information again will be posted on this website today. This is where you will be able to get the updated details. So for right now, at this moment, it has the updated information from January, and then they've now added the new summary PDF that's included in here. The summary PDF, I don't know if anyone's had a chance to speed read it over the last 15 minutes or so, but typically is not going to have a lot of the detail specifics about how things are going to be implemented. And I will just tell you, I did a quick perusal and did not see anything specific. And maybe if anyone else had a chance since then, has anyone had a chance to take a look at this yet to see whether or not there's anything substantive to share with folks? I think we need to wait probably until the detail comes out at some point. So just seeing if anyone's got any interest or information about that. Or if you're
Jackie asked me to pass on that specific to the rate study, it does not look good, that she got this morning, but that potentially DSPU is looking well. But that was what we got this morning.
Okay. Well, and again, there is nothing, at least in to my knowledge, in the summary that talks about it specifically. And so with that, now everyone knows exactly where this information will be posted. I don't know if they're going to post the detail information between now and by the time we're done with this meeting, but throughout the day today, if anyone wants to find out where that's going. And then for our staff at Alta, Wheaton Community Services, I'll send it out once it posts today for everyone. So that is where we're at for the May revision of the budget. And again, as Jay just got done saying, there is big concerns as it relates to the implementation of the rate study. I know, it came up yesterday. We had the ARCA, the Association of Regional Center Agencies Employment Committee, and that's most of the community services directors from throughout the state, as well as the employment specialist positions. And Shauna, I tried to put DDS on the spot, didn't I? I tried my hardest to try to get some good answers out of them, out of Ernie, for some specifics. And again, part of it is talking about rate methodologies. Some of the discussion that came up yesterday in the meeting was, are we going to know about the 055 rate methodologies? Is that going to be finalized? Are we going to be able to give guidance to our service providers? Is that something that's going to happen by July 1st? And I feel like the answer I got was wait until after the May revise comes out, and maybe we'll talk more about it. Was that kind of, Shauna? Yeah, basically that's what we got. So I know Eric, we had that discussion during the provider advisory committee meeting yesterday about the rate models becoming effective kind of regardless on July 1, because DDS has kind of been working on those things. We tried to nail it down from Ernie yesterday, but we'll see how things get revealed today. But that's for us at least, and now I know it's been Jason's stressor for I don't know how long, is where we're going to land with the 055s. We've got 055s that have got, employment activities that are going on, and we just really want to ensure that we've got the ability to be able to have sustainable rates for folks. So anyways, that information is still pending from the department. I'm trying to think of anything substantive other than there is a big push for the coordinated career pathways that came from DDS. You would not be surprised because we put on 2 webinars this week. We did one for the service coordinators, was on Tuesday, I think, and then Wednesday, and then we had one for you as service providers as well that Carly did. And so I know that was a big push that they discussed, was the trying to get more people to do the coordinated career pathways. As far as new service expansion, Jason, you gave a little update yesterday about coordinated family supports and we have some new applicants, and I know I wasn't quite aware of that. And so can you just share a little bit about kind of what happened recently with the coordinated family supports, and then now we've got some new applicants too?
Yes, so the DDS recently.
Wait, sorry, real quickly. Can we remind folks what the coordinated family supports are first real quick, and then go into the update?
Sure. So coordinated family supports, it's service code 076. So it's a new service that was piloted a little over a year ago. And it's a service where clients who currently live with the family, and the long-term plan is that they will remain with the family. The coordinated family supports provider will help assist connecting them with generic resources, and coordinating those services to address their primary language and their cultural background. Recently, DDS released an incentive program for that. So our coordinated family supports providers will have a report that they will submit to DDS, and the regional center will be funding incentive payments going out to that. So since that was released, I have received 3 new letters of interest, and we just did a vendor criteria committee this morning for one of them. So some really good candidates. Oh, John, you're muted.
Sorry. I'm going to drop into the chat real quickly the link for everyone if they want to go on to DDS's website to get more information about providing this service. Jay might be able to help me, or one of you that was at the CCLN conference. I believe that you guys had a panel about coordinated family supports that maybe Vicki Smith put on, or I think there was a discussion about it, but they were really looking at trying to expand this. Was that right, Jay? Was there one?
Yeah, she did a panel on that. They talked about the services and how to get to be a part of that.
Again, I know immediately upon the coordinated family supports being, and let me just share my screen real quickly. I know immediately upon that service kind of being something that became available, it aligned really well with our regional center and things like our coordinated future planning initiative and our caregiver succession planning activities, because we are talking about aging caregivers, and we're talking about individuals that are increasingly having trouble coordinating the different types of services and supports in order to enable their loved one to be able to continue living with them. And though we certainly want to support those discussions and those moves that folks may have towards independent living, we also want to honor the choice of clients that want to remain living with their family members, and the family members that want to continue having them live there, and make sure that we can provide all of those additional supports possible to help folks arrange those services for their loved ones in their homes. And this has never been available before. And so I would really encourage you all as service providers to think about doing this. Like, it will only work in our area if we have a large pool of people that can do it. And also if we are bringing in providers that really, match the cultures and the needs of our population too. Because when we're talking about going into people's homes and scheduling services and providing those types of services, you really need to be able to have that cultural competency to be able to work with folks. And so I know that was a big push of the vendorizations, is to ensure that we've got things like the language availability, and also even thinking about the geographic distribution too, being able to have someone that can, service providers that can really serve throughout our area. So I know Jason's really been tasked to be the cheerleader on this project from the very beginning. And so I really appreciate that, Jason, because it's nice knowing that you've been able to be a centralized point of contact, and just can't encourage people enough. Put in a letter of interest so that we can look at trying to make this service more widely available to our clients and their families. Any questions about coordinated family supports before I stop sharing my screen? All right, thank you for that. And we got our May Day rally. We had our provider advisory committee meeting yesterday, and in our provider advisory committee, we had some lengthy discussions. A big part of it was a presentation about PAGA claims. And I know we had a great representation of service providers. I love when you guys come in person to the provider advisory committee meetings. Please continue to do that. I would love for us to have to set up more tables and chairs for visitors and things like that if we need to, because it's excellent having you all there and being able to ask questions and just be able to meet people in person. Like I saw one of our transportation providers that I don't think I've seen in person in 5 years. So anyways, that being said, with that, I don't know if anyone that was part of our provider advisory committee meeting yesterday is interested in sharing the information that was out there. Michelle, I don't know if that, I know there was that packet of information that went out to everyone on the provider advisory committee meeting.
Yeah,
If
we had William Mosier, attorney from Lewis and Brisbois. He's my attorney, and he has worked on PAGA claims. He knows our industry really well. He did a great job presenting the concept of PAGA and really explaining the history and how it's become a really lucrative process for the state of California and attorneys. And there's really nothing we can do as providers to really protect ourselves from these types of claims. So he created a really nice PowerPoint. I believe he sent it out to the PAC. I'm sure he wouldn't mind if it was sent out to this group as well. It just gives you some insights into things to look out for, the low-hanging fruit that they try to latch onto to make a claim against employers. And he just kind of wants us to focus on some key things like wage and hour issues and, just consulting your attorney and just making sure that you're really careful with some of your wage statements and things like that.
Yeah, typically most attorneys don't mind a little extra advertising. So it was helpful, I think, if you wouldn't mind sharing it with these people, just that, like that, again, very in-depth and information that I know everyone that left afterwards that was talking to me felt like it was important that they got to hear it. So appreciate the things that you guys are doing at our provider advisory committees. This is like why I also plug attendance at our provider advisory committee meetings, because you get things like the up-to-date information about how the planning for the May rally is going on, down at the Capitol. You get information about the, legislative process in general, but also, really serving as a support to each other as providers for information sharing as well. So it's helpful for us because we get to hear directly from you in your role, advising the board of directors for the regional center. But again, also good for you as a support to be there. All right. And again, the PAC meetings are monthly, and we have a hybrid option that is available. And I think the sound even worked this month for the first time in quite some time. So that was good too. All right. I want to jump over real quickly to our calendar here and talk about some upcoming things that are going on. Let's see. I'll go to DDS actually first. Let me do that. I'm going to go to DDS's website first, because I want to make sure folks know on DDS's website as well where they can find the updated budget information once it gets posted, because again, people are very interested in the budget. So this is DDS's homepage, the main page, and right now on the front page of their website, they have a budget tab, and within their budget tab, you can see the information for the previous fiscal years. And in these tabs, so for example, you'll have the governor's original budget. They have not updated this yet, but if you look at previous years, you'll see that they've posted things like the May revision and that information within this section as well on DDS's website. Again, for the most accurate, up-to-date information about what is going on, I recommend going to the California Budget website, and you'll be able to get more detailed information about the May revision and the information that's contained there. All right. I am hopefully sharing my screen now with Alta's events and calendar page, and start off by, I know we had a number of transportation providers that attended yesterday, and there was a discussion about our upcoming transportation vendor forum. This information is now posted on our website, and we are looking at doing it 19 days from now. And we're going to be doing this one virtually. And then I believe our next one is the one that we are planning on having in person so that we get to see even more of you transportation providers in person. And for some people, for me at least, maybe the first time if you became a service provider during COVID. We have some other things that we've got on here, things that we certainly support strongly at our regional center, including the statewide self-advocacy conference. Typically, the Supported Life Institute will put on 2 conferences annually, the self-advocacy conference, and then they'll have their conference as well in October. The self-advocacy conference, again, really geared towards self-advocates. The October conference, I think this year, usually a couple of our EMT members and client advocates, I believe, are slated. Let me ask, because I saw Reva pop on here, and I know Reva loves when I put her on the spot asking her questions in this meeting. Reva, are you guys confirmed yet for any of the upcoming Supported Life conferences?
Asking me?
Reva, sorry, Reva. Can you hear me, Reva? Reva, no? Oh, not Jay. Sorry, we're working on verifying with our client advocates. I believe that they are going to be either at the self-advocacy conference or they're going to be at the one in October for.
John, this is Jen. I can speak to that. They will be at the May conference.
So you have a slot at the
and
May
they will be presenting on opportunities for self-advocates to participate in people planning together.
Awesome. Perfect.
Yeah.
Very good. So that information is here on our website. Additionally, we are going to be having a table, I have heard, at the upcoming We Embrace Disability Resource Fair as well. And I think we're actually sharing a table with our dear friends from the Department of Developmental Services for that one. You can see some upcoming activities. We have some Southside Park play dates. We've got the May Day Capital Coalition rally that we just got done talking about it. That information is right on our website as well. And then we have our last Yolo County specific meeting that is coming up. The Yolo County meetings as an opportunity, and Michelle Johnson and Veronica and Catherine, our managers from the Woodland office, we've all sat in and enjoyed these meetings, talking with the local community there and all over Yolo County. And this final meeting is going to be a virtual meeting, and we will have both Spanish and American Sign Language interpretation. So if you are a service provider in that area, you know people with developmental disabilities, especially those that have concerns, about being caregivers, we recommend that you share that link with them, invite them to participate in that meeting. We found some very good partnerships through those meetings, but also we receive a lot of great information. And again, I will just give a shout out to our managers from our Woodland office, because they actually typically either know the families, and they certainly manage the service coordinators for the families that show up to these meetings. And they're very, in tune with the services already in Yolo County. So a little plug for that. The rescheduled feet walk is coming up as well. The first one, I believe, was rained out. And so that is coming up. We've got some other activities. We've got our Yolo Juneteenth is coming up on June 2nd, too. We have another micro enterprise fair, and Carly's not here right now, but some of you have really enjoyed the micro enterprise fairs in the past. It is a great opportunity to be able to support our our clients that are selling their goods. We typically do them twice a year now at this point, and so we'll have another one probably right at the end of November, beginning of December as well, for all of the holiday shopping opportunities. But very much looking forward to that. Coming up as well. Again, you can, if you go to our calendar, we'll go even further out in dates. We have additional Juneteenth celebration, and then we have another celebration for upcoming vendor forum. Excuse me. And we also have our upcoming vendor forums as well. I know the updates from Mary Rettenhouse have gone out about the Summer Institute on Neurodevelopmental Disabilities too. So that information is in there. So just really want to encourage folks, take an opportunity. I don't know if you can you subscribe to our calendar? I think that's one of the things that we need to do. We need to figure out a way so that we can move into the 2024 and allow people to just hit something that allows them to subscribe to our calendar, so it goes right to their iPhones. We'll put that down in our idea box, Jordan. And let's see here. I'm going to stop sharing that screen. So with that, I am going to now check one more time on the California budget to see if we've got the detailed information that has come out yet. And it does not appear that it has. And so with that, I'm going to open it up and see if we have any announcements from our case management or from the clinical side of things. I saw Camille with a shaking head. It doesn't look like
No
it.
updates. Yeah, no updates today. Thank you, John. Appreciate it.
No, sounds good. And I know you guys got the update last time about the stakeholder feedback opportunities that were available for the caseload ratios. Has that closed already, Michelle and Jennifer? I know we had a great discussion about it at the PAC meeting yesterday, clarifying exactly what we're looking
June
for.
3rd.
June 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that one is available as well. And then do we have an announcement? Oh, I guess we don't have it right here. Maybe let's do an announcement about our new AD and those types of things. We can have that discussion coming up in the future here too. When we've got everyone in attendance. So next week we've got behavior agent on for the spotlight, and we will provide another push update on the DSP stipend, and then we are getting our social media together for the DSP collaborative, and so we'll be sharing that more widely as well. We've got some ideas about where we want to have our next job fair. We're thinking about possibly out in the Rancho Cordova area at one of the employment one-stops that are out there. That seems to be a good opportunity for us. So with that, yeah, feel free today, folks, to continue to check on the budget and see whether or not we get a little bit more details on the May revision. And I hope everyone has a great weekend. We'll look forward to talking to folks next week. Thank you very much.
Have a good weekend.
Have a great week.